the opportunity to have intercourse with is that woman.
Mm-hmm.
If that woman is choosing not to have intercourse with him, and men have
I'm listening.
the opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to make a choice whether or not to still remain in that situation, which is not necessarily meeting their needs. So where does the man have his needs met if he's not having them met in the person?
Well, I think that goes back to what Nola was talking about. Nola was saying there is an undiscovered reason that we need to go to. Now, of course, like I said, there's an anomaly, which I believe is in your case very much a very non-normal. Any of your friends would say that's not normal. Mm-hmm. You never went to a friend and they said, oh, yeah, I get that all the time. That's not years of problems without woman intimacy is, your wife's intimacy is not normal. However,
she's no longer white.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, without a man and a woman being together.
Right.
So finding that reason, I believe, is us, especially as Christian men, and believing in God. Why is she? Because I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I actually care about you and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me just saying, oh, you know what? It's about me. It's about my needs. Obviously, if you're not liking it or if you don't want it,
sure,
we need to have a deep discussion
about what's going on.
Why don't you?
Now, let me ask you, okay, so what we've concluded and what I'm hearing you guys say is that you believe that marriage does not suggest implied consent.
100%. It does not.
Okay. Now, let me flip this script a little bit because I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a minute, for a minute, just for a minute. All right. So how come omission of your wifely duties does not mean you can, as a man, omit your husbandly duties?
I mean, it's the same thing. I agree with you. Exactly.
So what if today I decide, you know what? I don't think I really want to keep this commitment with this lady. I think I want to go ahead and...
Well, the other way around, I believe, is the same way that she can't say, no, you're not getting it for a year. You can't say, I'm taking it every day for a year. You both, because you are...
Well, I'm saying if it's a completely different issue.
Saying. You're saying something else. But under the guise of sex, you guys need to come together. You guys need to figure out what the situation is. It's not I get this, I do this, my needs aren't met, I need to find a way to punish you for what you're doing. That's not what we're doing. It's obviously not in her best interest to not give you what you want, because then you're thinking about other things. Pornography is a factor. Being with another woman is a factor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts there.
Yeah, I think your point is well taken. I think that in the context of when we're thinking about marriage, we cannot think about it as a contract.
Yeah.
So what you're basically saying is this is not a contract, this is a covenant. So this means that we have committed to this choice, and this choice is the sustaining, overriding, overarching envelope that we're going to choose to work within for sickness, for health, rich or poor, till death do us part. So we're going to work within the context. So the only way that I think, even though I have been playing devil's advocate, I think that the only way we can really put this in a more substantive context is by saying, okay, she's in this relationship with me. We've consented to walk this journey. What is best for her? What is best for me? Mm-hmm. And we need to get to the root if there are things that are not good for me and not good for her. Mm-hmm. Because the idea is working in harmony to get an outcome that both of us are happy with. And that's what I think I'm hearing you say. That's Nola? I mean, is that along the lines of what you're saying?
I'm going to say yes. However,
okay.
I want to make
caveat. There's a caveat.
I want to make this statement.
Okay.
Because this is something that happened to me. Everybody knows that I talk about the lifestyle before.
Yeah.
I met a young lady who became real friends. I became real friends with. But before we was, we really liked each other. Mm-hmm. And so while I was, talking to her, she made a statement to me, and it's going back to what Mustang saying. It's all about communication. Mm-hmm. And so basically, what she told me is she was highly promiscuous when it came down to her man, meaning her sex drive was high.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her, I said, well, what do you mean when you say high? She said, well, I would like to have it so many times per day.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me so far.
It does.
Is there a problem?
It does.
Where's the problem?
Now, see, this is the problem. This is the problem.
Oh, okay. There was a problem with that?
Yeah, because there's a problem. Now,
okay, what's the problem?
As a man, we sit down and we say, you know what? I like this.
Sure.
But see, that's for the now. When you get married and you look down the road and you got jobs and you got kids, and now her sex drive is still high, but you working for somebody dealing with, concrete or bricklayers or hard labor intense job, and you come home and you just want to relax. But your wife is walking around naked because she's ready. So now,
so far, I still don't see a problem.
I know, because see, he's in an office building. You know what I'm saying?
So far, it sounds pretty good to me.
But
yeah,
I had to sit down and think about that. As much as I love it,
I'm single, send it to me.
As much as I love it, as much as I want it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, until he get it. Until he get it and he's married to it, and then he was like, man, I can't even. I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'm late to come, guys. But you know how the business is.
No. Listen. There are a couple of things. There's a line I believe in the Bill of Rights. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yeah.
There are a few truths, and let me tell you, of the truths that you have spouted on this show, I can assure you that would not be a problem.
Okay. And that's good.
Okay.
And that's
this
good.
is fact.
To the world and all of our listeners, this is coming from a young man who is only speaking in today's tense, the present tense. Yeah. This is not future tense.
Yeah.
He haven't looked down the road yet and thought, what could be the worst possible scenario?
Listen, the worst possible scenario is the scenario I've been in. That's the worst possible scenario.
I do agree with that.
The worst possible. Let me just say,
I do agree with that. That's
listen, I much prefer somebody who needs it too often than somebody who can't take it at all.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm with you.
I'm just going to be blunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I get what he's saying, and I know we kind of veered off the topic, but I get what Noah's
we
saying.
can ramp it up now.
Noah's saying, hey, listen, you got one lady and everything's all good. Hey, I can't wait to be with you. I'm going to be with you forever. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Whatever. It's going to be great, and it's all great. Again, today, and it's going to be great for a while, maybe the first year, maybe the first 2 years. But after that, you're like, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't want to do it today. But you said, honey, come on now. I'm just going to get on your take. Can she take it now? Absolutely not.
Can she take it?
Yeah,
and have your yeses become no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there you go.
And that's the point that I was trying to drop.
No's.
Let me just hey, okay. Now that same woman.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That same woman don't cook for the man she have right now. So now she's taking all of your nutrients and she's not replenishing nothing.
Well, if she can't cook, now that's another problem.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait a minute now.
See, now it was okay everything.
But we're not talking about the same appetite.
But But if that appetite is not being nourished, if it's not being refilled, you can't produce.
Well, I can pull off at the Arby's. We can take care.
Okay.
I get my.
You love some Arby's. I'm just being honest.
I'm gonna say this, and this is just a small commercial, lady. Y'all know how it was when a man said, "Oh, I need to run to the store after we done got you to that moment of heatness just to go and get some protection."
Oh, wow.
So this man right here across from us, he's going to run to the Arby's. Okay?
I got to get some nourishment.
I got to make sure I got the nourishment.
I need some curly fries. America runs on Arby's.
Shameless plug. Hey, if Arby's, if anybody working at Arby's happens to want to sponsor this show,
there you go.
We do eat at Arby's.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know that.
Okay. Getting back to the story. So my question is, now the man's yes become no's.
Okay.
So what do you do? Because be honest with you, my uncle told me, he said, you can get up in a woman, you can do it as much as you want, you can ride it for as long as you want. At the end of the day, they pushing out 5, 6, 10-pound babies. Mm-hmm. You cannot hurt that. Mm. However, that's not our intentions here, ladies, up in this studio, is to hurt it.
Yeah, of course.
It's to love it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But the reality is what happens when we fall out of steam and our yeses become nos.
The Conversations from the Cave Show is brought to you by the Alabama Cornea Care Center, Northern Alabama's first irregular cornea and scleral lens referral center. The Alabama Cornea Care Center is dedicated to the management of complex irregular cornea cases, providing hope and compassionate care for patients suffering with keratoconus, refractive surgery complications, and degenerative eye diseases. Call 256-937-1213 or visit alabamacorneacare.com for more details. Now, back to the Man Cave with Kurt Kennedy and the CFTC crew.
Well, let me just say, I get what you're saying, and I know all jokes and banter aside, I get what you're saying. That you really have to look long term at nurturing the relationship in its completeness, in its entirety, and I get that. But I think what I'm really trying to get at is a little something deeper, which is that a lot of times I think we go into relationships and there are mismatches. There are mismatches in expectation.
Right.
There are mismatches in level of amorousness or libido. There are mismatches in terms of even the understanding of what marriage actually is, particularly in the context of this sort of new, I don't want to say new women's lib thing, but where the relationship actually is influenced a lot by our modern society. I can say that. Okay, so to the extent to which that issue takes root in your marriage, you have to learn how to balance those things, and that's what I'm hearing you say: is having a life that is temperate and having some balance. But I want to say that it's going to be more important to actually ask those questions. So for the guys who have not married, and see, this is the thing, I actually got in writing that from my, the woman that I was marrying, I actually said, listen, this is the deal. Okay. We got to get together, regularly. And I had her sign that because we didn't do anything before. We weren't doing anything before. You understand? And I was waiting around. So I said, well, as long as we take our time, we will be okay. So you can imagine my horror when the contract wasn't being met. See, so you go in with the expectation that this woman is going to willingly meet your needs on a regular basis, and you are obviously available to provide for those needs, which should be her needs too. It should be her needs if she's working, right? I mean, she should have needs too. That's why part of the reason why you get married. So, you figure there needs to be some balance there. But the thing is the expectations. And if you don't have a context for that, or if you don't know that they've had, issues of abuse in the past, or maybe their libido is very, very low, and that's just the way that they function. If you don't know those things, and if you don't know what are the right questions to ask, a lot of times you can get into a situation that is going to be a mismatch, and it's going to be terrible for both members of that relationship. It's going to be awful.
Definitely. And again, like I said, it's very clear, it's very important to note. You had a very, very unique experience.
Yeah, but it is unique in the sense that it was as bad as it was.
Is unique in the sense that
but there are a lot of guys who go without for months.
But again,
not years,
like
I had to.
No, years is insane. But what Noah was saying, what does God kind of show me out of this? Why am I in this relationship? Am I in this relationship for sex? Yes, I understand. Sex is melded into the relationship. It is supposed to be there. However,
are you married if you don't?
My point is, sex is into a relationship. It is definitely melded into a relationship. It's not supposed to be separate. It's like a body. You can't have it without the leg. I agree. For sure, it has to be there, or the arm, or the shoulder, whatever. However, let me take a look at these other things and see if maybe I can take care of, her needs with the children. If I can't take care of her needs, forget financially. Let's just say, yes, financially, that's always included.
Sure. Yeah.
But if I can't take her needs in this area, or this area, or this area, that the sex doesn't come. as opposed to